This video doesn't contain spoilers, so go ahead and watch it, because it's okay. When Double Fine announced their adventure game Kickstarter, no one expected it to be as successful as it was. Ending with over $3 million raised, more than 8 times what they set out to get, Double Fine Adventure was at the time the most successful campaign on the site, and it opened up all new doors for game makers to get funding for their projects. The Kickstarter is notorious for belated rewards, and Double Fine Adventure, codenamed Reds, then renamed Broken Age, was no exception. Originally slated to release in October of 2012, the vastly increased budget allowed Tim Schafer and company to put more time and thought into the game, and they eventually released Act 1 of Broken Age in January of 2014, nearly 2 years after their Kickstarter campaign ended. With so much time to build up expectations, how does the final product stack up? Well, the first thing to really understand is that it isn't the final product. This is only the first part of a 2-part game. As part of the Kickstarter campaign, Double Fine hired 2-Player Productions, the crew responsible for the Minecraft documentary among others, to do a series about the development of Broken Age. The series does a fantastic job of giving a warts-and-all portrayal of game development, and a big part of that is budget. Despite raising millions of dollars, they still couldn't afford to make the game they wanted to make. So rather than neutering their product, they decided to cut the game in 2 and sell the first half early, with the promise that no one would have to pay for Act 2. All this in mind, it's very hard to give an earnest opinion on the overall quality of the game because we've only seen half of it. Imagine you started to watch The Dark Knight and the film ended right when the Joker broke out of jail. How good is it? The best you could say is that it shows promise of being a great movie, but you can't really judge until you see the whole thing. And we've all seen how the promise of a great movie can turn sour in the last half. All that said, I enjoyed Act 1 of Broken Age, and I think it shows a great deal of promise. The only real complaint I have is that for an adventure game, the puzzles aren't very challenging, but this isn't really a complaint because, again, this is only the first half of the game. Reviews that really criticize this are missing the fact that most games save the hardest stuff for last. If the puzzles in Act 2 remain simple, then we have a problem.
I found the object. It appears to be something organic in nature. Something's telling me I should stick my face right into it.
Ah! Get off of me! Get off!
So what is it about? Well, ostensibly it's about 2 young people who are dissatisfied with the world their parents have promised them. Shay is a boy raised on a spaceship by a doting AI mother, given repetitive missions that are just safe, childlike distractions. Despite his adolescence, his computer mother still treats him like a baby, and Shay has grown sick of it. Vela, on the other hand, is a girl from the town of Sugar Bunting, a city of bakers who ritually sacrifice a group of young girls to a monster called Mog Chothra every 14 years. While nearly everyone in her family thinks it's an honor to be sacrificed to Mog Chothra, Vela has the gall to suggest they kill it instead. This is what impressed me most about Broken Age and what I think will contribute to its lasting appeal. Shay is a character who is manipulated and lied to from start to finish. Even in his rebellion against the computer, he has no idea what he's actually doing. Shay lives in a world designed for his own comfort, where he's given endless but ultimately meaningless variations on the same handful of experiences. The choices offered to him both by the computer and by Merrick aren't choices at all. Shay has no agency in his own story at this point because he just doesn't know any better. Contrast that with Vela, someone who's been told her whole life that being eaten by Mog Chothra is a great honor. We get to interact with multiple citizens and maidens around the feasts of different towns, and with the exception of Vela's grandpa, people don't just find the idea of fighting Mog Chothra insulting. They think it's laughable. To them, it's such an outlandish idea that they don't even register it as a viable possibility. Her own grandmother says,
"All you need to know is how to look pretty in your dress. We'll take care of the rest."
Against the wishes of her family, her peers, and her town, Vela elects to fight Mog Chothra. Not because it will benefit them, because they obviously disapprove of the idea. She does it because she doesn't want to die, and that's all the reason she needs. Frankly, Vela's a badass, and the fact that she's of mixed race makes her all the more exciting. All this is fine enough, but the themes are what really bring this game home. Vela and Shay are both surrounded by adults who are deluded, deceitful, and full of themselves. The best things their parents have to offer them are poisonous to their development as young adults. Broken Age is legitimately funny, but beneath this is an air of desperation. These people are so devoted to their imagined realities that any hint of deviation is catastrophic. Their children aren't people, they're tools they can use to achieve their own goals and maintain the status quo. That's what the title's talking about, that broken age of your early teens when you've grown out of childish things but adults don't take you seriously. It's about the struggle of every young person to find their identity amidst the swirl of expectations from their parents, from society, and from the media they consume. None of this is center stage, and I wouldn't even say all of it was intentional. The great art lends itself to many interpretations, and Broken Age has all the makings of something truly great. If it can stick the landing, this might be a game we talk about for a long time. Neither of them will die, and they will be great friends. 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 Just friends. Just friends. Don't fuck this up, Double Fine, I swear to God!